Hey guys, Batman 1999 here, and have you ever wondered why everyone loves Disney? Have you ever pondered why their characters and stories have lasted decades and become beloved classics among old and young generations? I often ask myself these questions and truly wonder, why is Disney magical? Why would people pay thousands of dollars of their hard-earned money to go to an amusement park centered around a rodent? Why are adults and children across the globe buying plush characters such as Goofy the dog and Nemo the clownfish just to get tired of them and put them away in storage? And my biggest question was, why do people sing Disney songs so much? People sing along with them, listen to them, and buy CDs to take with them. Well, I sought to answer these questions, and in spring of 2016, my school's Academy Club went to Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida. We stayed there for a few days at the park's resort hotel. It was a very nice place. Clean bathroom, clean bedroom, and the room even had a mini refrigerator. But what caught my eyes were the room's theme and decorations. The room was themed after Herbie the Love Bug, a Volkswagen bug from one of Disney's older films. The Love Bug room had a large poster of the car, and the room was decorated with a large array of Disney characters across the bottom edge of the roof. We stayed at the resort for almost 5 nights. My club and I went to Hollywood Studios and rode the Tower of Terror, rode roller coasters in Epcot, and even participated in a special program made for schools by Disney themselves. And sadly, after the fun and games were over, we had to go home, where I understood my questions better than before I went to Orlando, but I still remained confused. So, last week, I went back for my spring break with the Academy once again. We loaded up on Friday morning at 6:30 sharp and was on our way. My heart was pounding with excitement, my knees knocking, anxious to arrive to the happiest place on earth. I talked with my friends, and groups decided on what activities they wanted to do when they arrived. And we even watched Pixar films on our way to the resort. Once we arrived, I leaped from the bus and was eager to begin our night. Our chaperones and sponsors gave us our room numbers and told us who we would be sharing with. I was a lucky guy and was with 3 of my best friends in the whole world, Seth, Josh, and Chase. Later that night, my friends Jacob, Caleb, Cody, Will, and Kendall invited me to join them to eat at the Rainforest Cafe. I agreed to go with them, and we all had a good time. I ate a burger, as did Caleb, and Jacob ate a sandwich. Cody, Kendall, and Will were at a separate table where I believe they ate some seafood. After we finished up, we all gathered up and went to our rooms. When we arrived, I went to my room with Seth, Josh, and Chase, and we all talked about our nights. About half an hour later, eventually laid down and went to sleep. On Saturday morning, our whole club gathered up on the bus and went to Hollywood Studios to ride the Tower of Terror. Me being the fraidy cat I am, especially when it comes to heights, I was scared, but Jacob, Cody, Kendall, Will, and Caleb were all there and with me every step of the way. Once the ride was over, I was shaken up, but once again, my friends helped save the day. Once everyone had finished the ride, our chaperones and sponsors split us up into groups of 4 to run around with in the parks. My group consisted of 6 people: me, Caleb, Cody, Kendall, Will, and Jacob. Our chaperones approved of our number of people, and we were free to explore. One of our first places we looked at were the gift shops. I picked myself up a Monsters University hat, and the group bought shirts and other little knickknacks. We all agreed to take on the huge line and conquer the Rockin' Roller Coaster. I was nervous about the heights on the ride, but my friends once again helped me gather up my courage to try it. After the 2-hour wait time, it was our turn. I grabbed my camera and was ready for whatever happened. When the ride began, I felt a tingle in my spine as the G-forces and gravity knocked me around the track, and I felt a sudden thrill from the experience. I was actually enjoying the roller coaster. I wasn't afraid. When I got off the ride, I felt like $1,000,000 and thanked my friends for helping me to gather my courage. And we went on with our day. We all decided to go back to the resort and get something to eat. Once we arrived at the resort, we all decided to go look in the gift shop and pick up a few more little knickknacks here and there. When everyone finished up at the resort eating and shopping, we all decided to get on the bus and go to Epcot. where we rode a time travel ride in the giant golf ball at the entrance of the park. We rode a space training simulation, and even a 4D flying ride featuring Patrick Warburton called Soarin'. That night, we shopped and went back to the hotel where we ate pizza, and Will went through his smashed designer penny collection, showing off how many he had collected that day at the park. He had collected all sorts of characters, and we both got an exclusive Figment the Dragon Funko Pop to add to our collections. After we all ate and socialized, we all separated and went back to our rooms, where we would go to bed and get some rest for the next day. Seth, Josh, and Chase were already in the room when I arrived, and we all started to talk and visit when I walked in. The next day was Easter Sunday, and we had some very important things to do that day. The most important objective was to go to Disney Springs and help Will find something to give to his girlfriend Kendall. We had Caleb keep her occupied with another group while we went shopping. While there, I went to some really cool stores, and Will was even able to add the Avengers to his penny collection. Will eventually found a cool Star Wars purse to give to her, and I picked up a really cool Sully from Monsters, Inc. pillow pet. After we were done, we hurried back to the hotel, where we ran to hide the gift from Kendall so he could surprise her later. While there, we waited for her and Caleb to arrive so that we all could eat lunch. We all decided to go to Animal Kingdom and look around the new Pandora world, based on the Avatar movie from James Cameron. When we arrived at Pandora, we were greeted by cast members dressed like the Na'vi from the movie, and they were singing and playing the drums. We observed the drummers for a good while and headed towards the Flight of Passage ride. While walking there, me along with my whole group were in awe as we looked upon the beauty that was Pandora. From its trees to the smallest of plants, to the floating mountains, Pandora is something truly worth seeing. Once we got to the ride itself, we were treated with some amazing props and items to admire as we waited in the long line to the simulator. One of my favorite things was the tube holding Jake Sully's avatar body. I was fascinated by this because the way the animatronic moved was so well detailed, even the muscles moved with it. When we boarded the simulator, they gave us glasses to put on. As we got into our seat where we would be strapped in and taken for the ride of a lifetime. When the ride began, I felt as if it was real. The world looked so beautiful, and I was amazed at even the smallest of details that remained true. While in the simulation, you smell, see, and even feel the banshee breathing while on the ride. When we left the Avatar simulation, all 6 of us went to the gift shop, where I bought a Pandora shirt, and Will collected more pennies for his collection. Once we left the gift shop, we walked around Animal Kingdom and went onto the safari ride, where we saw antelope, warthogs, buffalo, and my favorite animal, the African lion. And Jacob got to see his favorite animal too, the giraffe. Once the safari ended, we rode the Yeti roller coaster and went to a dinosaur amusement park. That night, we went to Magic Kingdom and ate at a fancy restaurant for Easter, based on the Lady and Tramp movie. When everyone finished eating, we went back to the resort, where we all went to our rooms. Seth, Josh, and Chase was tired, as was I, and we all decided to go to sleep, because all of our groups had to meet for that special program Disney set up for us the next morning. That morning, all of the Academy woke up early to board the bus and head over to Magic Kingdom for the school's learning program presented by Disney themselves. The group was split up into 4 smaller groups with 2 chaperones and our program instructor. Our program instructor was named Elizabeth, and she was not only informal, but a very nice and fun person to be around. Elizabeth taught us how physics is used to operate the amusement park rides and all the properties of how they work. We all rode these rides that she taught us about, such as Splash Mountain, Thunder Mountain, and the Pirates of the Caribbean. We learned about the animatronics and how they function. And after we got off the Pirates ride, Elizabeth said goodbye to us, and we were free to go on with our day. Cody, Will, Caleb, Jacob, Kendall, and I ran around the park that morning. We all decided to ride Space Mountain in Tomorrowland, and after the ride, ate lunch at a mom-and-pop type restaurant inside the park. When everyone finished up eating, we went shopping, and we went back to the hotel, where we swam for a bit to cool off from the hot Florida sun. When we got out of the pool, I decided to run with Josh and his group for the rest of the time we were there, so that I could run with him due to the fact this was our final day. Me, Josh, and his group all ran around Magic Kingdom that night. Our first stop was at the Monsters, Inc. laugh floor, where Mike Wazowski puts on a comedy show to gather up energy to run their city. The show was very fun and very entertaining. I picked up a Mike and Sully keychain set, a mug set, as well as a Sully plush toy. That night, we all witnessed the light and fireworks show at Disney Castle. The show was beautiful and truly something that one must see in person. As Disney songs and characters sound off and roam around the castle, one truly feels spectacular. After the light show, we all went back to the resort, where we packed up to leave the next day. Tuesday morning came, and we all woke up early and hopped onto the bus to go home. Our teachers surprised us by taking a few minutes off of our schedule to go to the beach and observe its beauty. While on the beach, I looked around to see all of my friends smiling and having the time of their lives, some of them in awe as they were seeing the ocean for the first time in their lives. This brought a smile to my face as we boarded the bus. When everyone got onto the bus, I pondered my question from before. Why is Disney magical? Was it the songs, the stories, the characters? But then it hit me. It wasn't any of those things. But it was the memories you make with your friends and family. It was the adventures you have, the laughs you share, the places you go, the friends you make, the smiles of happiness surrounding us. This is what makes Disney magical. The movies, the characters, the songs is just part of what makes it so magical. So in conclusion, what makes Disney magical? I think it's the memories you make with the people you care about. Those memories that will bring a smile to our faces even as we grow old. That is what makes Disney truly magical. Batman 1999 out.